Welcome to From Betrayal to Breakthrough, and here is a mini dose of Dr. Debi where I'm sharing tips, suggestions, strategies, and sometimes just motivation to have you move past your betrayal once and for all. Hi, Dr. Debi. I was working with a member of the PBT Institute yesterday, and I have seen this come up so many times. So I want to bring it up just in case this is something you're doing and it may help you. When you're doing deep, hard healing work, the real stuff, the stuff that is not easy, it's hard, let's face it, right? What happens is you're doing the work, and you don't really notice the impact. You just see the tremendous amount of work you're doing, and you're still struggling. You're not feeling so much better. Maybe you're feeling a little bit better. Maybe you're noticing some changes, but it's still there. And then what happens is we feel, well, this is really hard, and let's just go back to what I know. Let's just go back to what's familiar. Let's just go back to what's predictable, even if it stinks. So I want to give you this analogy so you see what this looks like. Imagine if you are swimming out into the ocean and it is a rocky swim. The waves are crashing. It is not easy. You're swimming. You're getting somewhere. You're really moving forward. And you're at that point where you're like, you know what? This is really hard. And maybe I should just swim back to shore. But what if the same distance that would take you back to shore, if you just kept going, would take you to the most beautiful tropical island filled with every single thing you want? You see? And we get to that point where, well, it's just so hard. Let me now take all this time, energy, effort, undo it by swimming back. And what I like to suggest is you're halfway there. Or maybe halfway there, right? Why not just keep going and get to something, not the predictable, not the familiar, not the known. But because it's not familiar, predictable, and unknown, we tend to go back to what is. And what I'm suggesting is, you know what's there. You know there's more of that if you wanted. You've done so much work already without, even though you don't know what if it looks, what it looks like, what if it's so much better? Keep swimming. Keep going. This stuff is hard, but you have everything you need to swim, to that beautiful place. And if we can help you within the PBT Institute, I'm happy to do that. So just something I see all the time and hoping that helps you. You're doing the hard work already. Don't stop. Keep going. It's out of the 5 stages from betrayal to breakthrough, that is typically a stage 3 thing. Keep going. That's stage 4, stage 5. Transformation doesn't even begin until stage 4. So much I can't wait to share with you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hi, Dr. Debi. So when we've been betrayed, we have an ability to rewrite the script with how people treat us. And we've written the script. That's the script with, the relationships you have is based on the script you wrote. And what happens is there's a complete and utter death and destruction of the old after a betrayal, which allows for the birth of the new. And with that birth of the new comes a new version of you, where you keep all the parts of you that are so wonderful and the parts that you love, and you leave behind everything that no longer serves. Now, along with this process, what happens is, because you're changing, remember, other people may not be changing, you're changing. It's going to shake up the people around you a little bit. Why? They like knowing where you stood, where they stood. They like knowing what they could get away with. And you're shaking things up a bit. It is all part of the process. When you are undergoing this transformation, you are changing the rules, and it's all good. And transformation begins when you tell yourself the truth. So maybe that means, well, you know what? I didn't stand up for myself. I let boundaries get crossed. I didn't really have my needs met, and I was okay with that. So it's a time to redefine all of it. And that's why healing from betrayal is an entirely personal process. Now, I don't mean lonely process, because you need support and the right type of support. I mean, that's all we do within the PBT Institute. But you need that kind of support so that you can know and you can get help with, well, what kind of boundaries really make sense for me? What am I ready for? What am I unwilling to accept anymore? Everything is changing. Everything is being redefined. So it can be a little bit confusing. I shouldn't say a little bit. It can be a lot confusing in the beginning as you redefine and recreate this version of you. But keep in mind, other people may not love it, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't happen. It means you need the right help and the right support so you can create this version of you that never would have had the ability to show up had that not happened. We're taking all of this on and so much more during the 5-day Trust Again Intensive, the Self-Love Edition. And you can learn more about that at the PBT, as in post-betrayal transformation, thepbtinstitute.com/trust-intensive. I'll see you there. Hi, Dr. Debi. So a few years ago when I graduated from my PhD program, I was invited to give the commencement speech for my class. And I wrote something about success because what I find is as we heal from a trauma, as we experience something like big, definitions for things change and how we feel about things change. So here's my definition of success. What is success? The newest car, the biggest house, the prettiest face, or the most perfectly behaved children as determined by societal standards? If so, who are we when those external measures fade over time? If your measure of success is achieved through the accolades others bestow upon you, who are you when you no longer receive those accolades? If your measure of success is judged by what you collect, what happens when you stop collecting? If success is achieved at the expense of family, integrity, connection, meaning, or contribution, can it really be considered a success? Who are you if you come in last place, if you don't raise your hand, if you take a longer route or travel a different path? Here's what I think success is. When you can enjoy the quiet of your own company, that's success. When you can easily open your heart for someone in need, that's success. When you can think about those you love as a smile curls your lips and a warmth envelops your heart, that's success. When you can surrender and grow comfortable with the discomfort of the unknown, that's success. When you think of giving up and giving in and going back to what was old and familiar, then refuse and remain on your journey forward, that's success. Success is facing your fears, slaying your dragons, healing your wounds, and loving yourself. Success is thanking your ego for trying to protect you as you choose to trust the voice of your highest self instead. Success is knowing that even if you have nothing, you have everything you need to create a life that's rich, fulfilling, and beautiful. Success is the outpouring of love from within, regardless of what external signs of validation you receive. Success is using your biggest obstacle as the catalyst to reveal your greatest gifts. Success is knowing that you are worthy, deserving, and lovable simply because you exist. Helen Keller said, "Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved." So here's my wish for you. May you use your skills to drive humanity forward. May your new insights light a path to the trail you're now ready to blaze. May you reflect with pride on how far you've come, then lovingly allow for the next and most exciting chapter to unfold. May you serve as a role model and mentor, enthusiastically yet humbly sharing your light so that others are inspired to do the same. You got this. I'll see you next time. You need the right tools, support, and the right community to move through the 5 stages from betrayal to breakthrough. And we have all that within the PBT Institute. So join us at the PBT, as in post-betrayal transformation, thepbtinstitute.com. There's a version of you who's so confident, healthy, peaceful, and happy on the other end of your healing. And we can't wait to help you get there. We got you. Thanks for listening. And here's to your breakthrough.